Welcome back, detectives. Grab your magnifying glasses and maybe a rosary because Benoit Blanc is back. We've seen him navigate the treacherous waters of a dysfunctional family in a cozy Massachusetts mansion. We've watched him dismantle the ego of a tech billionaire on a private Greek island. But for his third outing, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, Rian Johnson has taken us somewhere completely different. Gone are the bright colors and pop art aesthetics of Glass Onion. This time, we are heading to upstate New York in late autumn. It's gray, it's gothic, and frankly, it's a little bit spooky. The film just dropped on Netflix, and I have a lot of thoughts. Did Rian Johnson pull off the hat trick? Is this locked room mystery actually solvable? And most importantly, is this the darkest chapter in the Benoit Blanc saga? Today, we are doing a deep dive into Wake Up Dead Man. We'll talk about the incredible performance by Josh O'Connor, the risky storytelling choices Rian Johnson made, and whether the mystery holds up. And don't worry, this is a spoiler-free zone. I'm not ruining the twist for you. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the vibe, because it is immaculate. Rian Johnson and cinematographer Steve Yedlin have traded the digital crispness of the last film for something that feels like an old-school 70s horror movie. We're talking swirling mist, decaying leaves, and candlelight. It's atmospheric as hell. The story centers around a small, struggling parish called Our Lady of Perpetual Fortitude. The head priest is Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, played with terrifying charisma by Josh Brolin. He's the kind of guy who preaches fire and brimstone and clearly has more enemies than friends. On Good Friday, after a particularly vitriolic sermon, Wicks is found dead. But here's the kicker. He's found in a sealed room, the sacristy, just moments after walking in alone. It is the classic locked room mystery. It's an impossible crime. Because the setting is a church, the town is immediately divided. Was it a murder or was it divine intervention? A curse? The movie plays heavily with this theme of faith versus reason. And that brings us to the character who really anchors this film, Father Judd Duplessis, played by Josh O'Connor. He's a former boxer turned priest, grappling with his own violent past and wavering faith. When the police chief, played by Mila Kunis, starts pointing fingers, it's Father Judd who ends up in the crosshairs, and it's Benoit Blanc who steps in to clear the fog. Let's address the elephant in the room. This cast is stacked. We're used to big ensembles and Knives Out movies, but this might be the most interesting mix yet. We have Glenn Close as the severe church administrator, Martha. She is terrifying in the best way possible. Think Rebecca's Mrs. Danvers meets a church bake sale. We have Jeremy Renner as the town doctor, Andrew Scott as a struggling sci-fi writer, and Kerry Washington as a high-powered lawyer. But the MVP of this film? It's Josh O'Connor. If Knives Out was Ana de Armas's movie and Glass Onion was arguably Janelle Monáe's, Wake Up Dead Man belongs to Josh O'Connor. He brings such a raw, nervous energy to Father Judd. His dynamic with Daniel Craig is fantastic. They aren't just detective and assistant, they are two men looking at the world through opposite lenses. One sees clues, the other sees souls. Speaking of Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc is fantastic, as always, but he's different here. He seems a bit more vulnerable. This impossible crime really rattles him. Watching him try to apply logic to a situation where everyone else is screaming ghosts is pure entertainment. However, a small critique. With a cast this big, some people inevitably get sidelined. I felt like Jeremy Renner and Mila Kunis didn't get quite enough to chew on compared to the others. They are great, but the script clearly favors the dynamic between Blanc and Father Judd. Now, I want to talk about a specific directing choice Rian Johnson made that might divide audiences. Without spoiling when it happens, I will say that Benoit Blanc does not show up immediately. The film takes its time establishing the town, the church politics, and the victim. It almost feels like a drama before it becomes a murder mystery. Personally, I loved this. It raised the stakes. By the time Blanc arrives with his southern drawl and his immaculate suits, we are desperate for him. It makes his entrance feel like a true event. Also, the humor is darker. Glass Onion was a satire that made you laugh out loud at how stupid the characters were. Wake Up Dead Man has humor, but it's drier. It's more about the absurdity of human nature and the lies we tell ourselves to survive. It's closer in tone to the first movie, but even more melancholy.
Scooby-Doo. With all the pieces on the table, this crime appears impossible.
Makes me sick. These kids painting rocket ships all over his sacred resting place.
So, the big question, is Wake Up Dead Man better than the first two? It is certainly better than Glass Onion in terms of emotional weight. The mystery is tighter, and the solution, when it finally clicks, is incredibly satisfying. It respects the audience's intelligence. It's a proper puzzle box. However, it might not dethrone the original Knives Out for everyone. The first movie had that lightning-in-a-bottle cozy charm that is hard to replicate. Wake Up Dead Man is a colder, sadder film. It's a mystery about death and regret, not just greed. Pros? Josh O'Connor is an absolute star. The locked room puzzle is genuinely clever. The gothic atmosphere is a beautiful change of pace. Cons? It's a slow burn. Don't expect non-stop action. Some A-list cast members feel underutilized. Final score? I'm giving this a solid 4.5 out of 5 magnifying glasses. It proves that this franchise has legs and isn't just repeating the same formula.
You're the only one on stage with the Monsignor at the time of his killing. And you're the only one at that church who hated his guts.
The spirit really moved him today, huh?
So tell me, what the hell happened?
But hey, that's just my take. I want to know what you think. Did the solution to the locked room surprise you? And where does Father Judd rank on your list of Benoit Blanc's sidekicks? Let me know in the comments below, but please mark your spoilers so we don't ruin it for others. If you enjoyed this review, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. I'm Moviestro, and I'll see you at the next crime scene. Stay sharp.
This case is solvable, right?
Well, I'm incapable of not solving a crime.